The holidays often makes us feel lonely, but there is a way that you can get through that process. You want to know what it is? Hey now, how is everybody doing? Welcome to Alert Diaries with Tanya E. Today, I want to share 3 points with you that I have used that help my developer mindset get through the lonely moments that I've experienced in my life. Because when the holidays show up, what we like to do is go through our checklists. As we check things off, make certain that all the things are in place, that is something that we do that as well. But while we are walking through clearing off and checking things off, there's another part of us that shows up as well. Because your checklist that you're creating lots of times are involving the people in your world that you want to spend time with. And it's a reminder of some people in your world that you may not be able to get the chance to spend the holiday with. If you find yourself in that position, there are 3 points that I want to share with you to help you get through this holiday moment. Point one, embrace resetting. We don't often think about it, but in a professional environment for some of us, when we find ourselves putting a plan in place and process that needs to get redone because something happened and it needs to be reset, we use Control, Alt, Delete. I want you to know that you can do that in your personal world as well because there are things that you can control along the way. Look at those things since you're already making a list of the stuff that you are doing. Make a list of the things that you have total control over. There's not a lot in our world that we have control over, but there's a few things that you can control. So take a look at what you can control in this situation and then work on those things. And with everything else, you make an alternative plan. In your alternative plan, you are able to get those plans situated. You're the one that everybody often goes to anyway to create a plan of action. Do that for yourself on a personal level. That way, when you have the pivots to take place, because the holidays always brings pivots with them, you'll know how to put in your alternative plan and then realize this. There are some things that you're just going to have to delete. Delete them off. Some stuff that you want to do are always because you have all these different touch points that often pop into your mind that you think will be a great asset to what you put together as a plan. But a lot of those things don't really need to get done. And the way that you're wired, because there's a perfectionist in your soul, you want to make certain that you get all of it done and you just won't be able to do it. So delete some things and be okay with the deletion. When you embrace resetting things, it frees you up to be able to do the thing that you like to do anyway on a regular basis. Go back to process-oriented, developing pieces of your being. You'll be able to get those done when you embrace resetting because some of that stuff that you have, it will not get accomplished. But be okay with that. Here's the second point. Self-assurance is the key. Inside of your being, you already know how to put plans in place, process what's needed because the developer in you just does that naturally. But I want you to know that it's not always the plans, it's you. So have assurance in yourself. That is the key that will make everything that you do work well. You are the catalyst between all of the things that have changed or morphed or been accomplished in your world. There's a reason people go to you to put the process in place. Do it for yourself and recognize, have some self-assurance that you are the key to the changes that you need to elevate your life and get you through this moment where you may feel lonely, to get you through this moment where you realize, as much as you can't stand it, that emotions are illogical. Oh, we like to make certain that in our natural, logical, analytical elements, the things are in place, but emotions don't follow that track. So I need you to be okay with realizing at the end of the day, be assured that you are the key that will make all the rest of the things in your world work out well. When you have more self-assurance in your being that you can accomplish the things that are necessary, that will put you in a position so that if for some reason that plan that you put in place gets thrown off, you now know how to embrace resetting that moment. But I need you to be self-assured that you are the key So that if there has to be an adjustment made, you have the skill set. That's why everybody automatically comes to you anyway. It's natural for you to start planning and processing whether anybody asks you to or not. And that is a good thing. But I want you to know that is part of your superpower. Here's point number 3. I was definitely in the middle of the 3 C's. There comes a time when you will have to decide if you need clarification, connection, or closure about a person to determine how to move forward in the relationship. Some relationships need connecting. Some relationships need clarifying. You will need to take the time to determine what the relationship should be in order for it to be beneficial for both of you. I took the time to write down some things that I think will support you. The free chapter is available for you in the link below. Use a support system. When we are in our professional environment, we have no problems maximizing the use of a team because you are usually the person that's called onto a team anyway to put the strategies in place, to make certain that things are organized, because you have this natural visionary element that resides in your being. And as a result of that, you are great support for the team that you have professionally. But I want you to start utilizing a support team for yourself personally. Take a look at the various things that you have going on in your life. You already know how to pinpoint what those things are. And when you're looking at what that is, see who you can start delegating some of your actions and your steps to. Yeah, I said delegate because even though you may be the one with the best skill set to get it done, because the developer in you is so multifaceted, but let somebody else do it. That will free up some of the elements that you're walking through, because some of the moments that we have where we're feeling a little lonely is because we're so focused on getting a bunch of other things done, and they are great things. Now, here's something else having a support system does for you. When you have a support system, it gives you the opportunity to step back a little bit so that you can start putting in better plans in place. And I get it. You're thinking that if I decide to let somebody else be a support system in this journey, how are they really going to get it done? Because I haven't been able to fully explain all of the details to them. I need you to know they don't need to know all the details. That's something that you can maintain inside of your own being. Give them enough to work with under one point. One step, one action, one thought is all you have to share with your support system. They don't need to know all of the underlayers and the alternative schedules and plans and processes that you put in place to make certain that nothing fell apart. No, you need to know that so that you'll be aware of when to implement it. But for this moment with your support team, just give them that one thing and explain that one thing. And if there's something else that's needed, tell them to just come back to you and it'll be okay. And here's one last thing I want to leave you with, a next level note. I'm reminded of a story of an older woman. Her children were grown, and she did what she thought was best to make sure that they were independent because she is a natural developer. She put processes in place to ensure that they knew what was necessary to make certain that when they went out into the world, they would be able to have tools that would support them on the journey. Oh, she did a great job. But as a natural developer, when the holidays come and she's by herself because her kids are off doing their own thing, she wasn't really sure what she should do for herself. So she decided, you know what I'll do? I'll just go to the store and get a few knickknacks, and I'll use that as something that my children can add on to what they're doing. It helped ease the loneliness that was in her soul. So when she went to the store, she accidentally bumped into a shelf full of glass knickknacks. And as all the things fell to the floor, she felt embarrassed by the people staring at her, judging her, because this was not something that she ordinarily did. Her whole life was designed to make certain that things were in their proper place, that her actions did not cause anything to break. She did all that she could, short of perfection, to make certain everything went well. And while she was bending over, trying to clean up the broken glass, one of the employees at the store came over and said, "Don't worry about it. We'll clean it up for you." And she says, "Well, I'm going to have to figure out how to pay for all of the things that I've broken." And the employee said, "Don't worry about it. That's why we have insurance. You don't have to worry about cleaning up what is broken. We will do that on your behalf. And you don't have to worry about paying the cost because the cost has already been covered." You see, the experience that she had then was hearing that she did not have to be responsible for cleaning up what got broken and that the cost of the damage had already been covered, gave her some assurance, and it eased her soul. I want you to know that this is available for you as well. In real world where things get broken, hearts get shattered, stuff gets torn, plans don't come together, and the loneliness that we often feel during the holidays comes into play. If you believe in the God I serve and let Jesus join you on the journey, He will pick up the broken pieces of your life, cover the cost of what that means so that you can be healed and you can be whole and you will not have to sit in loneliness and shame. That love was already given to you. The insurance was put in place long before anything that you had got broken, and you were never expected to pay the cost for that. When Jesus came and poured out his deity, he came to cover that cost. And he came because he never wanted you to feel alone. He never wanted you to feel humiliated. He never wanted you to feel any shame. So if you are walking through those elements in this time for this holiday, I want you to know you don't have to keep walking there. And if you want to go a little bit further, a little bit deeper in that conversation, reach out to me and we can have a discussion together. Because I want you to know that that process of cleaning up what's broken and covering the cost is already available for you. And so for today, if you don't remember anything else, here are the 3 points I want you to remember. Embrace resetting. We don't often like it, but we can embrace resetting by simply doing on a personal level. Control, Alt, Delete. Maximize the use of that. Point number 2, self-assurance is the key, and you are the key. So be self-assured in your actions and your skills, because the developer in you can always come up with a plan of action, a process to put in place so that things will work well for you personally as well as professionally. And point number 3, use a support system. It's okay for you to pull somebody else in, delegate some of the things that you have been working on, because you don't have to do it all by yourself. You have always had someone that is available to support you on the journey. And if you're looking for someone to help you on the journey, feel free to go to my website, TanyaEhood.com. There you can click under the Work With Me tab and see the various ways that we can work with one another. And if you are on YouTube, you can join me live every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where we can continue this conversation or we can start a new one. In the meantime, this is Tanya E. Hood, walking in my purpose, and I want you to do the same.